Hello and welcome once again to this channel where our goal is to provide Oracle-related educational content for your personal and professional development. And if you like content like this and find this channel helpful, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, enable notifications to stay informed of when we release new content, and also do not forget to share this video with your friends. Today, we are going to start a two-part series. And that two-part series is an attempt to upgrade our current 12C Release 2 database to 19C. If you followed my previous videos, there was a two-part series where we installed an Oracle Linux 7 server and installed and configured an Oracle 12C Release 2 database. And our source home for that 12C database is here. And this is going to be our target home for the 19C. We are going to create that home on our server. And so the first part of this video would be installing the Oracle Database 19C software. And the second part would be upgrading our currently running 12C Release 2 database to 19C. So let's go ahead and start our part one of this session. So in order to install the Oracle Database 19 software, well, first of all, you need to have that software. And that software could be downloaded from one of two places. You could actually go to the Oracle software download site or the edelivery.oracle.com. And you want to make sure you're searching for the 19C or 19.3. That is the base release of Oracle 19C. So very, very essential to this process would be to prepare our current Oracle Linux 7 server for the 19C installation. So as a root user, we would use the yum package. There is a yum package currently called Oracle Database pre-install 19C. And we would have to run this as a root user. So let's go ahead and start that session as a root user. Under my sessions, I have a session already registered for root. Let's go ahead and do that. Now, because this yum packages, the repository for these yum packages are on the web, I would make sure that I have connectivity to the web. Why don't I go ahead and maybe increase the size of this so that you are able to see, it's more legible to you. So I would send a ping with 5 packages to google.com just to confirm that I have connectivity to the net. So I see packages going and packages received. So we have 0 packet loss, and that is a confirmation that I can access the web. So as a root user, I want to make sure that I do my yum installation as the root user. So I'm going to copy this, and hopefully I don't have any issues with the repositories. Let's go ahead and do that. So, and it looks like everything is going well. I would confirm this by the Y switch, typing Y for yes, and then let's see if we have confirmation that that will download. This normally shouldn't take some time, but in the interest of the video, I'm going to open up another session as Oracle, and I start working on the second aspect of this setup process, which would be creating a directory where we are going to host our new 19C Oracle home. And eventually I am going to upload that software that I have already downloaded into the staging area, which is U01 stage. So under sessions, I would go ahead and open up a session as Oracle. And this is one of the reasons why I like using Mobile Extend, because not only does it act as an SSH tunneling, but at the same time, it also acts as a file transfer portal as well. So once your session is open, if you notice, this is a tab for sessions. I want to make sure I am on the SFTP tab, and I want to make sure that I CD on this side to my U01 stage location. Previously, for the previous videos, within this location, this is where we had staged our Oracle 12C Release 2 software. Currently, I have this right here. which I uploaded using the same methodology. So if you are not familiar with how to upload on MobileXtem, you could go to the location where you want to upload that file, which is U01 stage. And while you are in here, all you have to do is you click on the up arrow, the green up arrow to upload to current folder. You choose the file from your local system that you want to upload, and then you hit open. That would start an upload for you and eventually place that file within the location that you wanted. So let's go ahead and look at our root here and see. It says it didn't see anything. I'm just going to run a yum list of this package to see if we have that available package. So why don't I go ahead and try a yum install again of that package, just to make sure that we are not missing anything. And I would confirm with a yes. And let's see if that eventually is going to install. So as this is working, we continue working on the different aspects of it. Back as the Oracle user, this is the root tab, this is the Oracle tab. So I don't want you guys to get confused, because if you upload the software as root, well, root is not the one responsible for installing, so you would get a failure. So so while this is going on this side, why don't I go ahead and unzip that location? I would have to, first of all, create this directory, because I don't think I have created this directory yet. So I would go ahead as a root, as an Oracle user, I would go ahead and create the directory that I need in order to host our Oracle home. So let's go ahead and copy this, paste on this side, make dir -p in that location, and I can confirm that location by typing an ls -l right here, and there is absolutely nothing in there. So let's double check and see. Oh, and it completed this time successfully. Look at that. That is absolutely fantastic. So our operating system is now ready to support the installation of our Oracle 19C. So let's go ahead and proceed to next steps. We have uploaded our 19C software in the staging area, and I would now unzip it. So I will run an unzip of the Linux 19C home, and I will point it to the -d/ as a destination to my newly created Oracle 19C home. So that is app Oracle product 19 and DB home 1. So let's go ahead and unzip that into that location, shall we? This takes a while, not too long to get that going. Let's get more real estate here. And I'm going to create, I'm going to zoom this out a little bit. That way, the screen, the writings become a little bit easier for you to see. We should be almost done. Fantastic. So successfully we have unzipped. And then to confirm that, I would just CD into that location, U01 app Oracle product 19 DB home 1. and I would run an ls. And fair enough, I have all the folders that I need to have in that location ready. So for us to be able to run the installation, we will have to call up the Oracle Universal Installer using the run installer script. And in order to do that, I would do a /run installer so to call up the Oracle Universal Installer. So with a little wait, we should have our graphical interface that would help us follow the 9-step process for installation. So all we have to do right now is follow these different prompts. And the first is the configuration option. So we are going to use the setup only software. And this is because we are not, trying to install and configure a database, a starter database at this time. We want to install the software. And after we're done with the software, then we would use the database upgrade assistant and upgrade our 12C release 2 database to 19C. We are going to install, for options, a single instance database. This is not a cluster system, so we cannot choose the rack option. It is going to be an enterprise edition. And this is an important page. You want to confirm your Oracle base. Remember, we always talk about environmental variables. The Oracle base, the Oracle home, and the path. The Oracle base is the foundation of your Oracle installation. So we want to make sure that the U01 app Oracle remains as our Oracle base. The software location in this case is what's going to be Oracle home, a 19C Oracle home. So if we can confirm all of this, then we proceed with next. I will leave the privileged operating system groups defaulted the way they are. And I would go next. Now, I will not automatically run the scripts. I would leave this unchecked because I want to manually run the root scripts when prompted at the end of the installation. So we're going to do our prerequisite checks right now. All right, so there are some errors. And it looks like we are looking for that K-mode error. It says it's a warning and it's not fixable. Usually, if it's fixable, the fix and check again is going to be highlighted, where if you click that, it's going to generate a fix-up script for you. But for this, I would like to manually fix this before I move forward. And for the details, let's see here. It's looking for 2021, but I have 29. So let's see if we can fix that. So it's a YUM package I'm going to try to install or update. So I would go back to my terminal and I would run the K mode. I would run the YUM update for K mode, and I would just put K mode star. So it updates all the K mode packages that I have. I'll just do -Y so that it doesn't prompt me. All right, good. So let's take a look at this. Let's refresh. Let's check again and see if that resolved our error. Oh, finally it did. So if you run into that problem, then just update your K mode YUM package. It's going to update everything for you, and you shouldn't have any issues at level of the operating system. But here is a summary. So our database edition, enterprise edition setup software only. Our Oracle base remains U01 app Oracle. Our software location, U01 app Oracle product 19C, 1900 DB home. So if that looks good to you, why don't you go ahead and hit install? And if you want to see and watch the details, you can click on this tab as well. I'm just going to put that down here if you want to see how it is working. This installation typically shouldn't take too much time. And in a little bit, we should be called upon to run our root scripts. Remember, we have to always read the instructions when they come up. Root scripts have to be executed as the root user. I'll pause the video here in the interest of time, and I would resume when we're ready to run the root scripts. All right, so we are at the point where we are being prompted to run our root scripts. Now, I always encourage you guys, like I mentioned earlier, to make sure you read the instructions to be followed. To execute the configuration scripts, open a terminal window, log in as root, run the scripts, return to this window and click OK to continue. So I would click in here, Control C to copy that. I already have a session running as root. So I would just go ahead and make sure that I run that root script on this side. So I hit enter. It's going to ask me if I want to confirm the full path of the local bin. I'm not going to make any changes. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit enter. It tells me, all right, env already exists. If you like, you override it. I usually prefer overriding it, especially as I'm installing a higher version of that software. I go yes as well. And that is it. So that's the end of the root script. And as according to the instructions, I have to come back here and click OK. And that will take us to the end of our database 19C software installation. So I hope this video is useful for you. Don't forget to watch the Part 2 series that is coming up, where we would actually upgrade our 12C Release 2 database to 19C. Now, I hope this information was useful for you. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and always enable your notifications so that you stay informed of new content that we produce. Thank you.